Today was an interesting day for Pittsburgh. It started out as a peaceful demonstration, a march that called for justice, organized by young leaders through Pittsburgh's African American community that had a mission to be able to have a voice heard in order to be able to call for changes that are necessary throughout our country. We mourned together the tragedy that occurred in Minneapolis. And today we came together as Pittsburghers and supported a First Amendment right to gather and say more must be done. And then it was hijacked. And it was hijacked by a group of individuals who put their own self-interest above the interest of the movement, who took away from those organizers and those who wanted to have a voice about social justice and the demands that are needed in order to be able to see real change happen, and not only jeopardized that movement and that mission, but at the same time put the lives of the individuals in jeopardy. The individuals who they marched with 2 hours beforehand and who they said that they were a part of being able to see something better occur. Now, Pittsburgh is not new to protest, far from it. And we've had protests over incidents that have occurred right here in our own backyard. And never during that time have Pittsburghers turned it into an opportunity for vandalism and violence. Pittsburghers have always stood up, calling for social justice, calling for peace, and doing so in a way that brought us together instead of ripped us apart. Tonight we'll be taking additional actions in order to protect the people of Pittsburgh, but we will stay and work in order to make sure that what is happening presently is addressed in a timely manner this evening. With that, and to give a little bit more of the details about the public safety side of this, I'm going to ask Director Histrick to speak and then to talk more about directly on the police side, Chief Schubert as well.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor said, I've been here 4.5 years, and I've seen a lot. And we've been through a lot of protests, demonstrations without real incidents. For Pittsburghers, this is not good. And we believe that a lot of these individuals that are creating trouble are not from the city. However, we have to take a strong response to ensure that the residents, the visitors of the city remain safe over the next few days. And with that, effective at 8:30 this evening until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, there will be a curfew within the city of Pittsburgh, basically eliminating, or anyone that does not have a purpose to be out will be stopped by law enforcement and asked for their reason. This will occur both this evening and tomorrow evening. There's a large amount of law enforcement resources en route to the Pittsburgh area, to include the state police, to include various counties from surrounding Allegheny County and many of the suburban units. My feeling is that if we do not have a large contingent of resources available to us, that this will continue on, and we want to try to prevent any further damage or injuries to individuals. We've had several reporters, media personnel injured, as well as some pedestrians that we believe were just innocent bystanders. So there's extensive damage downtown. There are windows broken out. There has been looting, and we are begging with individuals that if you don't need to be in the downtown area, please stay out, and come 8:30, please stay in your house. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Schubert, and he can give you some additional details about the law enforcement response.
Thank you. Now, I don't want to repeat a lot of the things that the director said, but I can tell you, as the police chief, I'm very disappointed. because this was a peaceful protest for something that was very serious, and this does nothing to honor the memory of somebody who died. When you take it from a peaceful protest and you take it to a riot where you're injuring people, you're throwing rocks at people, you're throwing cans at people, you're hurting reporters, you're taking over something that shouldn't be. You know, this was a peaceful protest, and we watched it, we saw it. We saw people leave because of what they saw other people doing. But I can tell you, we're here. We're going to make sure we end this peacefully and resolve the situation. I can't say enough for the officers who are out there right now on the street, you know, trying to restore peace and bring our city back to the way it should be. You know, and I thank our allied partners from law enforcement who are coming in to help us, who are here and are coming in to help us so we can rectify the situation. But I can tell you this, we will look at every video that we have, and we will do everything we can with our technology to find the ones who are responsible for a lot of this. And I'm just so angry at the fact that some segment hijacked this and then took some of the youth and brought them into the mix. So this is something we take very seriously, and we'll do everything we can for the ones who did this, and to find out who they are and to get them. If that means plastering their pictures all over the media, we will. But we're going to come after you, and we're going to restore order in Pittsburgh. So please think about our officers out in the field. Think about the reporters that were injured, and think about anyone else who was injured in this. And hopefully we can get back to some sense of normalcy this evening.
We only have 3 time for questions. Hey Scott, can you talk about any injuries to your police officers?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, we've had a handful of officers right now. I don't have the exact number who have been injured, whether getting hit by rocks or other means. So we're checking on them now. Nothing serious, but you know, they're out there. They're doing their job, and I couldn't be prouder of what they're doing in this situation.
Have you made any arrests?
I believe they had some people while we were checking, but I don't have that exact number yet. As it comes throughout the night, we'll have Chris put that information out.
The horses are okay?
The horses are okay.
Do you know what the status of the protesters now? Have they dispersed, or where are they at?
Our officers are still active right down there, and as soon as we leave you, we can go back and monitor what's going on and be there for our officers. But we can give updates through Chris Togneri as we move forward.
The mayor mentioned that some of the people who may have been involved in turning this into a violent protest may have been from out of town. Do you have any idea who, if they're affiliated with a group, if they're anarchists, where they're from, who they are?
I mean, there's yeah, I'm willing to bet my check that there's a lot of people who are anarchists, who they're not here to protest what happened. They're here to take advantage of a situation and try to throw it their way and bring other people into the mix and cause damage, cause injury with that. So there's no doubt that that's who's doing it, and a lot of the things that we're seeing are white males, you know, dressed in the anarchist Antifa, you know, and they're the ones who are fueling a lot of this, and it's just a damn shame that they took advantage of the situation for something happened in another state where somebody died who shouldn't have died, and they hijacked that message for their own.
As in regards to the mountain patrol, is this something typically you would have then at a situation like this? It seems like things were peaceful, and then it just escalated once people saw the mountain patrol there.
Well, I think it escalated when they burned one of our police cars. I think it escalated when they threw stuff at people. I think it escalated when 2 people who were in the protest tried to stop them from damaging a police car and were struck by these people. The horses, They have a function to do. I'm not going to go into what they did because I wasn't up there when that occurred. But yeah, horses are a valuable asset to us. I can't answer your question on that because I wasn't up there and I didn't see what happened.
We also released one report of a person protester getting struck on the Veterans Bridge. Can you speak to the total number of injuries, the estimate at all?
We can get that out. I don't have the total
But there
number
were
for that.
multiple incidents in different
Yeah.
areas.
What, last question, this guy's got. What prompted the tear gas? Is there anything specific that prompted the gas being?
Have you been watching down there? Have you seen it? They're not listening. They're charging our officers. They're looting stores. They're breaking out windows. They're throwing things at our officers. So we have to take the action to try to prevent that from occurring and to prevent people from getting hurt.
Are you worried about tonight?
Yeah.
Are you worried about tonight as night falls?
Yes, that's why there's a curfew, and that's why we have additional resources coming in, because we got to do everything we can to keep our city safe, keep our officers safe, and keep the public safe.
Got the message for protesters tonight. What is the message you want to deliver to them?
How about just leaving right now? Just leave. That's the message, because we're not going anywhere.
All right, thanks,
Hey,
everybody.
one more thing. I mean, it was mentioned this morning by the Attorney General, as far as the federal statute, if you cross state lines to commit a violent protest or a demonstration, you will be charged federally. And I will honestly say that we have the FBI up there right now working with us. And, you know, with these arrests, if they're found to be outside the state, the FBI and the Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney's Office has assured me that there will be full prosecution.
Wendell, do you guys have any number of the amount of businesses that have been damaged or vandalized at this point?
I would say it's well over a dozen.
All right, thanks, everybody. Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks, Austin.
Stay safe while you're out there.